good and decent people of YouTube, welcome to Political Drain, where we sift through the sewage at the end of a long pipeline of corporate media in order to expose the liars and the charlatans hell-bent on manipulating you for power and for profit. My name is Bruce Lively, and no, you're not crazy. Last Wednesday, September 13th, 2023, one-time Massachusetts governor, Republican candidate for president, and most recently, Senator from Utah, Mitt Romney, has decided that he's going to retire. He will no longer seek the nomination for the next election. On his way out, the Washington Post decided to post an excerpt, a snippet if you will, of his upcoming autobiography. In that snippet, Mitt Romney decided to air out all grievances and open up all previously closed doors behind the scenes of Republican lawmakers and how much they lie.
And here is what Republican senators said about Donald Trump after the Mueller investigation failed to show any evidence of collusion with Russia. Perhaps Romney's most surprising discovery upon entering the Senate was that his disgust with Trump was not unique among his Republican colleagues. Almost without exception, he told me, they shared my view of the president. In public, of course, they played their parts as Trump loyalists, often contorting themselves rhetorically to defend the president's most indefensible behavior. But in private, they ridiculed his ignorance, rolled their eyes at his antics, and made incisive observations about his warped, toddler-like psyche.
Democratic politicians are also dishonest. But this is a different level, guys. Like, they are Jekyll and Hyde. They don't believe a word they're saying, not a goddamn word.
He sends text messages to Mitch McConnell to basically warn him about what he has heard. And this is what he wrote. In case you have not heard this, I just got a call from Angus King, who said that he had spoken with a senior official at the Pentagon who reports that they are seeing very disturbing social media traffic regarding the protests planned on January 6th. There are calls to burn down your home, Mitch, to smuggle guns into DC, and to storm the Capitol. I hope that sufficient security plans are in place, but I am concerned that the instigator, the president, is the one who commands the reinforcements the DC and Capitol Police might require. And guess what McConnell did in response to those text messages? Nothing. He didn't even respond.
Now, there are news outlets and commentary posts out there saying that he's a hero or a really, really great, courageous man for spilling these beans. And to be honest, I'd have to say that he's at very least nuanced. Being an independent myself, I don't think anybody in the Congress is good. I think they all have major flaws and very few have good upsides. I still vote because I'm an adult and I realize that the better of two evils includes the word better. So one has to be better. But what about Mitt? Yes, he did fight back against a right-wing fascist movement that was rising. He went against his party, which is courageous, and opted for the impeachment of Donald Trump during the phone scandal. Trump called Vladimir Zelensky and told him that he was going to withhold all of his military gear unless he did him a favor, find something wrong with Biden and his son. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter for this video. If you're a member of the Republican Party and you choose to go against that party because it's something you believe, right or wrong, it's courageous. I give applause there. He also many times was vocal about the things that he saw that he didn't like in his own party. Not to the extent that we see in this autobiography snippet that was in the Washington Post, but to the extent that you knew he wasn't just a lapdog. Okay? These are facts. I simply have one question. Why is it that all the people that are writing these autobiographies or biographies, writing these guides to how democracy dies or how crazy the president was supposedly when they were there, only write these things and only say these things and only out these people who supposedly hated Trump behind closed doors but loved him in front of the camera when they're leaving and they no longer have the power or the cachet to actually do something about it. Calling someone a hero because they torched the place on the way out seems a major misnomer. A hero is the person who ran to the flames while they still had the wherewithal to do something about it. I think what he's looking for is a form of redemption, a way for history to remember him, to say, I wasn't with them. Number one, do you remember this?
It's my honor, real honor, and privilege to endorse Mitt Romney. I've gotten... can do it.
There are some things that you just can't imagine happening in your life. This is one of them. Being in Donald Trump's magnificent hotel and having his endorsement is a delight.
Now that was when he was running against Barack Obama. Turns out, Trump was the main person saying that Barack Obama wasn't born in America. Show his birth certificate, then the long-form birth certificate. He's somehow other than. He's not one of us. I wonder why. 8 years later, Donald Trump now runs for president. Mitt Romney became a little more vocal about the dangers of a Trump presidency. That was until Trump tapped him to be Secretary of State.
A source close to Donald Trump with direct knowledge of the president-elect's thinking confirms that this weekend, Sunday's meeting with former Governor Mitt Romney is to discuss the possibility of the position of Secretary of State.
I agree with Larry here. I think it's terrific that President-elect Trump is meeting with Mitt Romney and Democrats, but Romney in particular, because that's really bridging the divide to establishment Republicans who...
Let's not forget that Mitt Romney was a venture capitalist. You know, the type of people that go buy companies, make sure they fail, make money off their failure, and then sell their parts while depleting the workforce, making sure that none of them have jobs anymore. And he somehow convinced an entire half of the country that that was someone that they could trust to be president, because 47% of the people, not them, but the others, they just freeload anyway, and you need someone like me to whip the reins.
There are 47% of the people who will vote for the president no matter what. All right, there are 47% who are with him, who are dependent upon government, who believe that they are victims, who believe that government has a responsibility to care for them, who believe that they're entitled to health care, to food, to housing, to you name it. That it's an entitlement, and the government should give it to them. And so my job is not to worry about those people. I'll never convince them that they should take personal responsibility and care for their lives. What I have to do is convince the 5 to 10% in the Senate.
For so many years, this party has whipped up their base into a frenzy about welfare queens, has whipped up their base into an imaginary future where they too can become venture capitalists and they can be rich. So don't care about all those other poor people. You want to be like me. Mitt Romney, he was willing to back and hug and romp with a Donald Trump when it could benefit him. You see, this is what happens when you lay the groundwork for what's been going on. When you tell people as a venture capitalist that you used to buy all of their businesses, sell them off, fire everyone so you could make more money, somehow it was good for them because it would trickle down on their backs like piss. You convinced an entire half of the country that the reason why they were poor is because they're lazy, and the reason why they don't deserve any more tax breaks is because the people who hire them are the ones who are really suffering. That type of stench, that type of foolishness tends to breed the type of a voter who wants to vote for someone who's willing just to cuss at everybody else, because that's how they feel. They don't know what to do about it, but at least Donald Trump was cussing at the establishment, telling them that everybody's lying to them because they are. Little did they know he was too, but I understand it. And now, like a BDSM partner, before starting the act of beating and whipping and pain and enjoyment of the pain, they come up with a safe word, pineapple. If I say that, that means I'm not into whatever it is we're about to do next. Sure, I like the whips and the chains, handcuffs, yeah, a pole, okay. The knives, pineapple. Unfortunately, now when you say pineapple, after you've caused a road of destruction to the masochist followers, after you siphoned all the money, after you destroyed all the voting rights, and you realize the only thing left is the fascist movement that you've created out of your greed, you want to leave and say, pineapple, I'm out now. It's too late for the rest of us. There's no safe word. For us, you get to leave and retire, and you expect your book to go down in history as a recounting of your newfound decency and legacy. But while you were in there, you had nothing to say, and we were yelling pineapple the whole time. But it's not all bad. I just wish you'd say sorry. I wish you acknowledged that. And I wish you had done it before you decided to leave office. I'll see you on the next one.